166 plus dancing. This page was fun. So I start by doing yellow pencils. I look at references, usually using my computer. I take screenshots of the games that I play if I'm going to use it in the page. I take pictures of myself for facial expressions and things like that. And then I basically change what the actual character looks like. So in this case, I'm taking pictures for Polanti, and then I'm going to replace his face kind of with what mine looks like. Weird. Boom! Inks time. So now we're doing the inks. Commander Cody's asleep in the corner there. It happens. I love doing inks with my big old brush pen. You know, cover a lot of ground really quickly. Get that dark stuff up there. But I also like using pigment liners to do the little details that you can't really do with a brush pen. You know, like tiny little things like faces and stuff like that. There was a problem this week. I ran out of ink on my pigment liner, which is like 0.1, and that was kind of frustrating because I couldn't do the little details like the way I like to do. And as you're watching it right now, I'm getting really frustrated. I'm about to make big mistakes here because I'm just thinking about the fact that I don't have this pen. I'm not thinking about the page. And boom, like the top looks like Death Star now for some reason, and things like that. So I'm getting frustrated, and I'm not even going to finish the inks, you know, just because, like, you know, I'm not even thinking straight. And then, boom, the next day we come back, I scan the half boat, and then I'll finish the rest on the computer. One thing I like about the tablet is that you can do this. You can get big black surfaces and draw white lines on them, right? It's not something you can do with ink. I mean, you probably can figure out a way to do it, but I don't want to. So computer's fine. Like the rings, I can add all the tiny little details that I was going to do with the pigment liner is now going to be done on the computer. I'm going to add some Urcon stripes on those crates because we'll get into that, right? It's about what's going on in the comic. You know, these Baker guys are on well, Dinian Alliance boats, but Dinian Alliance boat that's working for Urcon and they're undercover. I like doing these shadows. I'm fixing the Zeppelin top right now. The balloon is supposed to look like a balloon. See, adding some shadows, but not too many, right? And then, see, do the rudder. That was kind of fun, actually, the whole wheel thing. I looked at the wheel in Assassin's Creed 3. I don't know if that's what it was before, but whatever. It's cool enough. Adding some smoke on the left there. And now I'm going to fix this dude. You know, this dude is kind of cool. He's celebrating Movember, but I don't know who he is. You know, he's just sitting there or hanging out, looking at stuff. There's the forest, and you see that smoke. That's kind of where the explosion was. I guess that's where Visryan is. And, you know, doing detail on the water. I like doing details on surfaces and material. I just gave her an implant because doing materials is really important to me. So you can tell when you look at something, oh, it's made out of metal, that's water, that's wood, and, you know, that's important. So I can keep the faces kind of clean and normal in that case. I really like drawing Susie. She was fun. Maybe she'll be a bigger character. You know, who knows? But now, Palanti's kind of cool too. He's got that weird, like, one implant eyeball thing. And I decided to add more shadows and make that thing thicker. And you can kind of see it really quickly here. I'm adding, like, black shapes to those lines to separate them. Now we're adding some wood. This is actually one of my favorite things to do. I lived in Idlewild for like years and years, and all I had to do was stare at wood. So I got really good at doing this. And it's meditating now, right? I mean, it's just like, okay, I'm not going to do anything else for the next 3 hours but this kind of thing. And here we go. But it's really rewarding because when you're done, you look at the boat and boom, it's made out of wood, right? Materials. It's important. Now we go to color. Color is also important to a certain extent. I start with yellow and then erase yellow layer with creating white. Add the reds, you know, with Ryan. And Koa distracted me with this awesome video. And then I watched a little bit of Lena. And then we add shadows. Now this is also important. I like using this mid-tone bluish color for shadows, you know, multiplied right on top of the yellow layer. So it kind of mixes nicely and makes green. And coloring, to me, on a computer is just adding light. you know, one layer of light after another. So it's not really how you would paint, because, you know, you don't add light when you're painting. So this is different. And I didn't want to pretend that I'm painting this. I wanted to do what a computer does best, right? And that's light. So now I'm rewriting the script. Because it sucked, I had to fix some dialogue. Something was too long. Something was actually not even referring to the right thing. And, you know, maybe that's like the 5th time I'm fixing it. But I always like doing one final fix before it goes to the page, because now I know what the scene looks like. I know where the characters are and how much room I have to put the bubbles in there. So some lines could be a little longer, some lines can be shorter, depending on how much room there's left for them. But it's never an afterthought. I mean, the whole thing begins with dialogue, right? And then, bam!